Oh, I thought I was 100% dead. That had to be first possible frame right there. Yeesh. Oh my god, I'm shaking. Oh, I can't feel my hands. Yes! Yes! My hands feel like they're being tased. Yes! Yes! Let's go! Yes! Yes! Oh my god, dude. Oh, Hands, come back. Come back, Hands. Oh, dude, they're fucking, like, I can't see. Oh, they feel so tense. This is not a good this is not how Hands should feel. This is not how Hands should feel. Oh my god, give me a second. I'm genuinely concerned for the health of my elbows and down. Oh my god, what is happening? I mean, yeah, okay, I was nervous. I was not this nervous, bro. Calm the fuck down. Is this blood rushing to them, or is this lack of blood? I'm unsure. But they're trembling, and it feels like they're actively being electrocuted. Holy shit, I was hoping I could have like a nice calm moment to like relax and reflect, but nope, right now I'm just kind of worried about my hands. Oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit. Come on, Hands, you can. Okay, they're calming down. They're calming down, for sure. They're calming down. What's my pulse? Can I feel it? I can't feel it. Oh no, there it is. Things do. Probably above 120. It was probably higher a little bit ago. Oh my gosh. Yes! Yes, dude! Oh, thank you. Holy shit. Holy shit. It's over. 100,000 stars. Oh. Yes! Okay, this is a triple milestone. This is 100,000 stars. This is, oopsie, 3141, 1,000 times pi, demons, and if buff this and ICDX both rated back down, which I think they did, this should be 100 extremes. Oh, thank God. Yes! Yes, dude. I genuinely can't believe it. I can't believe it. So, before I give my thoughts on the level, I obviously want to talk about 100,000 stars. Because that is massive. That's, I mean, aside from 10,000 user coins, that's probably the last digit I'm getting on my account. You know what I mean? Like, unless I really pick up creating, that's probably my last digit ever. Oh well, diamonds? I could get to 100,000 diamonds eventually, but like, that's really the only, I mean, diamonds if you care about that digit, but like, 100,000 stars. This is something that has been very long while in the making in so many ways, and also such a new sort of quest for me. I've been playing this game, and I've had this account for 8 years now, I want to say. Maybe close to 9, I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. But I've been playing the game for easily 8 years now. And, you know, it's always kind of crazy to think when I started playing the game, people didn't even have, like 50,000 stars was either non-existent or, like, 1 or 2 people had that. You know what I mean? If any. And now, 100,000 stars, I mean, it's a massive milestone, but just to see how far this game has come is insane. And to see how far I've come as a player, I feel genuinely very, very proud of myself for this achievement. Because this is, like, I remember struggling with the mirror portal happening in Clutterfunk. You know what I mean? I remember getting to the mirror portal, freaking out, and never being able to pass what came next. Right? Like, I remember shit like that. I remember, like, spending time grinding out the Rob Top levels, right? Really getting into my first few demons on the servers, right? Like, I remember all that stuff, and it's so insane to think how far I've come as a player. And, I mean, unrelated to the game, outside of the game in a lot of ways, as, like, a person since then, you know? It's insane. I started playing this game in 7th grade. This is my, technically, 4th year of college, but transfer stuff kind of fucked that up, so it's, like, my 3rd and a half, and it'll be my 2nd to last. Whatever. But it's still, it's insane to think about this. Hold on, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's... Okay, been about 8 years, yeah, because I started playing early 7th grade, start 7th grade-ish, and it's currently the start of... Yeah, so it's been about 8 years. Oh my gosh. It's just, yeah, and it's crazy to think about. I don't have super organized thoughts right now, which I think you can maybe understand because, you know, it just happened and I couldn't feel my hands for like 2 minutes straight. But, you know, oh, and I guess, were we recording? Yes, we were. Good. But, like, I'm hoping you can kind of understand why I feel, like, right now. But, yeah, this is insane. I have a few people to thank. I want to thank... I want to thank my friends in 7th grade for introducing me to the game. I want to thank my 7th grade classmates for introducing me to GD. I want to thank everyone I've met in this community, honestly. Big shoutouts, obviously, to SG for being massively, you know, supportive. You know, even if not, like, directly and concretely, but genuinely, SG, you've been, everyone in there has been an absolutely massive benefit to just kind of my life in general, and I'm very glad to have met you all. Homies, shout out homies massively. Specifically gonna shout out CSX42, Nick, for sort of being my early inspiration to improve at the game. Because I remember watching his streams back in the day when he was sort of really grinding the game, focusing on the game, getting into like the top player scene at the time, right? Beating stuff like Windy, Colorful Overnight. I remember watching him, and he was sort of my first like concrete sort of like push to like improve myself at the game, and then also just to kind of get involved with the community. He's been a great friend for the, oh god, what, 6 at least, maybe 7 years, I want to say I've known him now, probably coming up on 7, and obviously everyone else I've met in homies as well, Dario, Tempo, Cloud, even more like recent friends I've made in there, Simon, Dom, Darksway, Zephyl, for Dark Swift now, not Darksway, Elif, big shoutouts Elif for being awesome. Yeah, just, you know, I kind of, everyone in there, and obviously anyone else I've sort of interacted with. There are some other groups of people I'm sort of in and out of transiently. I've talked to some people in groups for like a little bit and kind of dipped out and come back in and dipped out and whatever. I do want to shout out Extreme Demon Grinders for, as far as the 100 Extremes goes, I want to shout out Extreme Demon Grinders. Obviously any big figures in the community, you know, for a while Nepesta, Technical were like my big sort of motivations to play the game more. You know, Aeon Air, Zeronium, you know, all the big content creators, whatever. And I also especially want to thank all of the mods who do insane work to sort of keep this community alive and thriving, and to sort of better the community every day. I really, really honestly do appreciate that. Oh, I want to shout out, this slipped my mind and I would have kicked myself in the testicles if I didn't include this in the video. I want to shout out Prism massively for being hugely sort of... looking back, I guess I'd say my rival, but like neither of us really cared. Playing GD back in the day in like middle school and high school, and shoutouts to him for kind of sticking with the game as well throughout all these years. You know, it's great to see someone who I've known kind of do so much for the game, and he has been a great friend. So shoutouts to Prism, absolutely. And I'm sure I'm forgetting other people. If I do, I'll put you in the description. But just know that I do genuinely appreciate you. If you're like, hey, what about me? And you like know that I should have said your name, like, my apologies for not saying your name, but you know who you are. Massive, massive shout outs to you. Oh boy. Oh. Oh boy. Alright, so this level, now, I guess we'll get to the part of the video where I talk about Marathon for a little bit. A little bit, that's funny. This is a really, really cool level. This level, to me, was the perfect one to do for the milestone, because it both symbolically represents my whole journey all the way up to 100,000 stars, but it also sort of is, it symbolically represents it, but it's also just like a level I've really wanted to beat for a long, long time, that I've been very interested in for a long, long time. So I was like, this is the perfect opportunity to learn and beat this, right? And I will say, the feeling that I felt when I got to mile 25 is something that I have never felt and will probably never feel again. And I sort of hope to never feel again on one hand, but also I appreciated it in the moment, trust me. That was an insane experience, and I think that's kind of the way you have to approach this level, is it's going to be an experience. It's not going to be a level, it's not going to be something you like learn and beat and forget about, like it's going to be an experience. At least it was for me, and I think some of that obviously was sort of added to, there was added pressure of it being, this is 100,000 stars and 100 extremes and 3,141 demons. Some of it was also, you could go play other levels now, because I've been trying to beat this for like 4 days, and every other time I've tried, I've been way too tired to even pretend to focus on the level, so I've been dying to the stupidest shit repeatedly. But no, this is an insane experience of a level, and I think, obviously, the concept of this level is brilliantly well done. The execution here is most of the time really, really good. The concepts are great, the execution is very clever and intelligent a lot of the times. My biggest complaint with this level, though, is there are blatant choke points, and not memory choke points, just like straight up difficulty choke points. Like mile 5 has a 7-frame jump. Mile 7, the 4 spike is a 7-frame jump. Mile 11 has an 8-frame, and there was also a high hertz issue where something that's a buffer on 60 or 144 is a 10-frame timing on 288, which I thought I could have switched refresh rates, but I was just like, fuck it, I'll brute force the timing, and only died there like once or maybe twice from 0. It wasn't a huge deal. It was annoying, but it wasn't a big deal. I was like, I don't need to fucking switch for that. I'll just learn it. I'd already learned it at that point. I was like, oh, fucking whatever. I'll just do it. There's another bug at the end, but that's a free jump, so that wasn't a problem. 13 had 2 very tight jumps. I can't remember how tight, but they're in the realm of like 6 to 8 frames, I think. Mile 14 had the one jump to the blue orb, where you have to do like the very fast 2-click towards like the end-ish of that part, was kind of annoying. Oh, what was 16? 16 was fine. Oh, 17 has a 5-frame in it. Mile 17 has a 5-frame click. The one blue orb, you'll probably be able to just, like, intuitively tell which one it is. It's the blue orb off of the top platform down onto the bottom. That's a 5-frame on 288, and I'm pretty sure that means... Actually, I'm 100% certain that means it's a 1-frame timing on 60, which is insane that you'd put just a random 60 hertz frame perfect in your level. Like, fuck you. What's crazy, though, is I think there are multiple in the level, just in general. I think that was the last... Oh, no, the whole of Mile 19 was pretty rough. The entirety of Mile 19 is just really genuinely difficult. The rest of the level's not bad. The last coin is a 6-frame, probably a 60 hertz frame perfect, but, like, I can't be too mad about that because it's entirely optional, right? It's kind of like the end-of-level nerve check, like, do you want the coin? Fucking get it. Like, I'm okay with that one. But yeah, it was upsetting, because, and Chapter 6, not Chapter 6, Jesus Christ, Mile 6 has a lot of high hertz, at least 1, sometimes 2 high hertz issues. The portals at the end of the part don't guide you correctly on a buffer. You have to time it, and the timing is really, really tight and awkward. So instead I just switched to 60 for that, and then I switched to 60 a little early because there was one jump past a spike where, depending on your frame alignment, you could die to the spike, and it was based on like where my start positions were in my practice copy, and sometimes I died and sometimes I didn't, and whatever, and I was just like, I don't want to fucking risk it from 0, because with how frames can be dropped and whatever, and the alignments can get offset, I just don't want to die there on a bug, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just switch to 60 early. I also switched to 60 in Mile 20 because the yellow jump pad there jumps you way too early on anything above 144, so I just switched down to 60, and then back up to 288. Yeah. But those choke points, like I said, those choke points felt kind of unfortunate to me because it felt like they detracted from what the point of the level was, right? In my mind, Marathon's supposed to be this memory gauntlet, and, like, yes, there's going to be some skill in execution, absolutely, but having just, like, especially, like, mile 5 and 7, those 2 clicks in particular were just, like, extra dumb because they don't even, like, pretend to be normal, right? Like, the 5 frame in Jesus Christ, I haven't played Celeste in so long, why am I thinking it? In mile 17, the 5 frame at least, like, looks like normal gameplay, right? Like, it's insanely difficult and kind of ridiculous, but at least it looks normal. The jump at the end of mile 7, I almost said chapter again, what am I doing? The jump at the end of mile 7, the 4 spike, that's just, like, blatantly put there intentionally, you know what I mean? It doesn't even, like, blend in with the previous jumps in the part, it's just like, fuck you, like, hard jump time, good luck, and it's like, well, that's not memory, this doesn't feel like a test of my mental endurance, this just feels like a terrible timing to gatekeep the rest of the level from me, you know what I mean? It was just like, why is that here? And the jump in mile 5 as well was kind of dumb, because you could notice that the spikes, it's the jump over the 4 spikes on the raised platform at kind of towards the beginning of the part, like right about at the beginning, like you could tell that they shifted them right to make it a timing. It was just like you could have just left them centered on the block, and I'm pretty sure it's not a timing anymore. Like, why? Like, why would you put that? That just felt kind of like pointless to me, right? It was just like, that's dumb, right? The other ones were hard, but at least they blended in with the part. Like, the jumps in chapter 13... Jesus Christ! The jumps in mile 13 are very hard, but, like, they look like the part. They're disguised well, so it's fine. The other ones... Some of the other ones were just kind of blatantly, like, that's a little stupid, right? Like, we can admit that's a little stupid. But this is a fantastic level by all other accounts. It was upsetting dying to a lot of the same stuff over and over, but this is such an insane experience, and I'm very glad I did it for the milestone. I think it was the perfect choice. I really do. Yeah, I don't know if I have much else to say. Oh, a lot of people like I guess I should comment on the decoration of the level, right? Like, I think the deco is done pretty much perfectly. Obviously, none of the deco in the level is, like, mind-blowing, jaw-dropping, like, whoa, this looks so good, but, like, it does everything it wants to do very well, right? Where it kind of progresses from that, like, 1.0 style all the way up. You have this massive build-up. The decoration style starts to slowly advance and get more interesting and intricate and unique, whatever, and then all of a sudden you hit chapter 24, you have the 2 clicks, and then you wind down at 25, and you're like, phew, and you're back to, like, 1.0, like, holy shit, you're about to beat the level, and that's when the nerve set in for me. That was crazy, yeah. So, absolutely, I would recommend this level. Asterisk, if this kind of level is something you want to do. If you don't want to play Marathon, I don't think you're going to end up playing it and change your mind about how fun you think it is. I think if you don't want to play Marathon, and you play Marathon, you're going to hate Marathon. Right? I think you're going to hate Marathon very vehemently if you decide to play Marathon, but you don't want to play it. Right? It's not a level where you can, like, oh, well, I'll give it a try, and then your mind changes. Like, because it's such an intensely, like, difficult, like, experience. Like, the difficulty of the level is, like, kind of the mental, like, learning everything, getting consistent with it, sort of overcoming a lot of, like, doubts about, like, do I know this part? Do I really know this part? Oh, I'm second-guessing myself, right? Because of that, it's not, like, you know, Joe Schmo skill-based medium difficulty extreme, where you can just kind of pick it up and be like, oh, well, you know, at least it was relatively painless. Like, no, this is something you need to want to do in order to find it enjoyable. But I liked it. I still think some of the timings are stupid, but I enjoyed it. But that right there feels very, very good. Yes. Oh, seriously, thank you to everyone I said thank you to. Thank you to anyone who's watching this. Thank you to anyone I've interacted with in the community. You've genuinely been super, super great. This is not going to be an end of me playing the game. It might be an end of me lining things up for milestones, because let me tell you, when Buff This and ICDX ranked up to Extreme these past day or two, I was sweating some bullets. nuts, but it was fine. It worked out in the end. But yeah, I think I'm going to, from here on out, maybe not care so much about milestones. And if I do go for a milestone and it gets fucked over by something rating up and or down, I think I'm just going to kind of leave it. Oh, I guess I should mention, I did also, I think, line up 200 insanes. Yes, and I had 300 hards, but one rated down, so I think I'm at 299. Yeah, well, close enough, whatever. But there you go. There you go. There it is, 100,000 stars. All right. I have so much. I could just talk about this forever, but, you know, I don't think any of us want that. So I'm going to cut myself off here. Thank you all very, 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 very much for watching this video or any other videos on my channel ever, or for just, like, knowing who I am or whatever. Genuinely, it's been great. This will not be a stop to uploads. This will not be a stop to me playing the game. I definitely have a lot more I want to do in the game. No doubt about that. But, you know, I'm not going to try to sort of push like crazy for milestones after this. At least I don't think I will. I don't see myself getting to 200,000 stars anytime soon, if ever. But, to be fair, I would have said that about 100,000 5 years ago. So, you know, who knows? Who could possibly know? Alright, I'm going to cut the recording here now.